Hey everyone, and welcome to the weekly podcast with Alexander and Ava.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Absolutely, always ready to explore.
Well, today we're talking about something pretty amazing. We're going to really get into all the reasons why spending time in nature is so good for us. And I mean like good for us on every level, mind, body, even spirit.
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating stuff. We've got research, cultural perspectives, all sorts of things to dig into.
Yeah, and we love those moments, right?
Definitely.
So get ready for some serious insights. I mean, we're talking about reducing stress, getting those creative juices flowing, all that good stuff, but like with some real depth.
And you know what's really interesting is that this isn't just like, touchy-feely stuff. We actually have hard data to back it up, showing the real impact nature has on our well-being. It's amazing what science is finding.
Right. Okay, so let's break it down. First things first. Mental health. I mean, who doesn't love that feeling of calm after a nice walk in the park? But get this, there's a study that found just 20 minutes. That's it. 20 minutes in the woods can reduce cortisol, the stress hormone, by over 12%. That's wild.
It's crazy, right?
It is. And that's almost twice the reduction you get from just walking in a city.
That's right. It's like nature has this incredible ability to just hit the pause button on our stress response. And what's even more amazing is the way nature's rhythms, things like, flowing water, rustling leaves, actually help us be more mindful.
So mindfulness, I feel like that's a word we hear a lot. What does it actually mean for someone who might not be totally familiar with it?
Yeah, well, mindfulness is really just about being present in the moment, without judgment. It's like tuning in to what's happening right now, both inside and outside of yourself. And it turns out nature is full of these things called fractal patterns.
Fractal patterns?
Yeah, basically repeating shapes, and our brains just love them.
Like what? Give me an example.
Well, think about like the branching of a tree or the spiral of a seashell. These patterns, they kind of resonate with our brain waves in a way that actually calms us down.
So it's like our brains are literally wired to find peace in nature. That's amazing.
It really is.
And hey, speaking of feeling good, we can't forget about all the physical benefits either, right? I mean, hiking, swimming, even just gardening. They're not just fun activities. They're seriously good for our hearts and our bodies.
Absolutely. We're talking improved cardiovascular health, increased stamina. But, there's so much more to it than that. Just breathing in fresh air, that alone can boost your immune system. And sunlight, we need that. It helps our bodies produce vitamin D, which is essential. And, a lot of people just aren't getting enough of it these days.
Right.
And there are even studies that have linked living near green spaces with lower blood pressure. Pretty amazing, huh?
It is. It makes you wonder, if we sometimes underestimate how much our bodies actually crave being in nature. I mean, it's like we evolved in it.
Right.
So it makes sense that we thrive in it, right?
Exactly. And, that kind of leads us to another really important point, which is environmental awareness. When you really stop and look around at the incredible biodiversity out there, it's mind-blowing.
It really is.
It's like this intricate web of life, from the tiniest insects to the largest trees and everything in between. And it makes you realize just how connected we all are,
Yeah, you definitely get a sense of the big picture and how everything we do has an impact, for better or for worse.
Exactly. And it's not about feeling overwhelmed by that, It's about understanding that we're part of this incredible system, and our own well-being is completely intertwined with the health of the planet.
I've always felt like spending time in nature just makes me want to protect it more. It's like some kind of instinct kicks in.
I totally agree.
And that makes me think about how different cultures view nature. There's often a real spiritual connect in there, right?
Oh, absolutely. So many cultures have traditions that revere natural sites as sacred, whether it's mountains, rivers, forests, you name it.
It's powerful.
Yeah, it's like they recognize this wisdom in nature, a wisdom we can all tap into. Take the Japanese practice of shinrin-yoku, for example. You ever heard of that?
I haven't.
So it's also called forest bathing, and it's basically about immersing yourself in the forest with all your senses. It's not about hiking or exercise. It's just about soaking in the atmosphere.
Wow.
The sights, the sounds, the smells, and allowing that experience to promote well-being.
That's beautiful. I love that. And, it's like we were talking about before. Indigenous cultures around the world have been living in harmony with nature for centuries, and they have so much to teach us about sustainability.
Oh, absolutely. There's so much ancient wisdom there that we can learn from and apply to our modern lives.
For sure. Now, something else that I thought was really interesting in our research was the idea of nature as a muse for creativity. I mean, artists have always been inspired by nature.
Of course, that's classic.
But it's more than that. Like, it actually boosts our creative problem-solving skills.
right? It's not just about inspiration, it's like scientifically proven.
Wow, how does that work?
Well, think about it this way. When you're in an unstructured environment, like a forest or a beach, your mind isn't bombarded with the same kind of constant stimulation that you get in, say, a busy city.
That makes sense.
So you're free to explore, to be curious, to let your imagination wander, and that's when new connections happen and those fresh ideas start to pop up.
So you're basically giving your brain space to breathe
Exactly.
and to make new connections. I like that. Which brings me to another point, which is that spending time in nature isn't just about solo reflection. It's also about connecting with others.
Right.
Whether it's, going on camping trips with friends or family or volunteering in a community garden, those shared experiences in nature, they can really strengthen our bonds.
Absolutely. There's just something about working together towards a common goal in nature, like planting a tree or cleaning up a park. It just creates this sense of teamwork and camaraderie.
Totally. It builds community, right? And a sense of shared responsibility. It's funny how something as simple as planting a tree with someone can be so powerful.
It really can.
But, nature also has this amazing ability to help us grow as individuals too. What do you think?
I think about things like, hiking a challenging trail. It takes so much, determination and resilience. Sometimes you even have to face some fears to get to the top. But when you finally reach that summit, that sense of accomplishment, it's incredible.
Oh, I know that feeling. There have definitely been times when I've felt like I could conquer the world after a tough hike. But, there's also that humility aspect too, right? Like nature could be a really humbling experience.
Oh, for sure. There's nothing quite like standing on a mountaintop, surrounded by those vast landscapes to put things into perspective. You realize how small you are, yet you're still part of something so much bigger than yourself.
Yeah. Nature has this incredible way of humbling us and reminding us of what really matters. And speaking of what matters, we can't forget about the impact nature has on kids. Just playing outdoors, it's so important for their development.
Oh, it's crucial. It enhances their motor skills, sparks their curiosity, and, helps them develop a love and respect for the planet that will stay with them for life.
It's true. I mean, they are the future stewards of our environment. Those early experiences in nature are really shaping their values and the actions they'll take in the future.
It's an investment,
Yeah.
An investment in their future and in the planet's future.
Exactly. And finally, we just have to talk about the pure intrinsic beauty of nature. There's nothing quite like that feeling of awe when you witness a breathtaking sunset or you look up at a star-filled sky. It's magical.
I know what you mean. You get this overwhelming sense of wonder, this feeling of humility. It just washes over you. It's like this universal language that transcends culture and language. It offers a sense of peace and joy that's accessible to absolutely everyone.
Yeah. It's a reminder that we are all part of something truly extraordinary.
That's beautiful.
So we've covered a lot today, from stress reduction and physical health to sparking creativity and even finding spiritual meaning. It's clear that exploring nature has a profound impact on us in so many ways.
It really does. So I guess the question is, what small step can you take today, right now, to connect with nature and experience these benefits for yourself? A walk in the park, sitting under a tree, even just taking a moment to notice the clouds passing by.
It doesn't have to be a big thing, just start somewhere. Take that step and see what happens. Discover the incredible ways nature can enrich your life. Until next time, keep exploring.
Keep exploring.